Let's get the stream started here. Let's make sure I have a connection, which I do. Looks like it's streaming right now. Perfect. Hello, everybody. It's 5:41 here in Southern California. Going to do another stream tonight, mainly watching or mainly listening to 144.250 here in Southern California. That is upper sideband. We've got a couple guys out there that normally chat around. I guess they start around 6 and end around 9 or 10, depending on the night. Got a bunch of lighting here coming in the side here. It's springtime, so I have the window open. I can enjoy the it was a little bit sunny here earlier here this afternoon. Not too much sun going on today. We got some, actually, it looks like some sprinkles earlier, which I was fairly surprised about. But enough rambling on. So this is Greg, K6EGG from the city of Chino. I'm about 2 miles north of the Chino airport, 50 miles east of, actually about 45 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. So welcome aboard. We just try to kind of listen to ham radio stuff going on here in Southern California. Mainly I have this going so people... they always wonder how their station sounds. They make adjustments to their stations. And this is a simple and easy way that I can show on my screen, which I'll put on here in just a second, that has the signal strength, what noise I'm hearing. I have an Icom 9700 that I also show an audio scope. And I'm rebroadcasting the direct feed out of the radio into my mixer into the stream. So it's not like a microphone pointed at the speaker. It's the direct feed. So you're listening to what I'm listening to. With that being said, I'm going to get this party started. Get some radio action going here. I'm just going to leave the radio going here, and I'm going to go be in and out the rest of the night. Probably jump on once I start hearing some people here. This is Greg, K6EGG. Hello, everybody, and welcome back, or at least if you went anywhere. I just been kind of monitoring. Haven't really heard much on frequency tonight, so I'm gonna jump on here and see if somebody's out there. So let's give it a whirl. Oh, what happened there? Give me just a moment, folks. I still have audio. Oh, you know what? It probably with the screensaver mode. There she is. Let's get back on frequency. All right, so let's give a call out here.
Kilowatt 6 Echo Golf Golf monitoring 144-250 from the beautiful city of Chino, 2 miles north of the Chino Airport. Anybody on frequency by chance?
Hey, Greg, WA6QXA Keith.
Hey, Keith, how you doing tonight? Long time no talk.
I know, huh? How you doing anyway? I'm doing okay.
Pretty good. Just enjoying my last night of freedom here. Decided to play a little radio. I put the stream up about, looks like about an hour ago or so. Not many were on frequency.
Oh, really? Did you broadcast or anything?
Yeah, we're up right now.
I know, but did you broadcast about an hour ago when you first did it?
Yeah, I got on and I didn't make a call or anything. I just was monitoring because I was taking care of some other stuff. But didn't look like anybody went on. I kept on going back and forth and taking a listen on my phone and stuff, and I didn't hear anybody talking at all.
I've been working in the shack. I'm like making I'm really getting into power poles for my connections and stuff. So I'm making up my own power pole cords and stuff like that. I've just been doing it, but I haven't. I've been busy, so I haven't tried to talk or anything.
I gotcha. Fred, or anybody out here tonight?
Been dead? Yeah, it's been dead. I talked to Ward earlier, but that was about 3:34, baby.
Copy that. I just bought I think it's called a RigPi remote base. It should be here in about a week or so. So maybe I can connect to it through my phone or my laptop. So maybe if I'm on the road or something, or I'm at work or something, I have some downtime. In case my boss was watching, I don't have a lot of downtime. I can maybe jump on and hop on and talk to you guys.
During your lunch, of course, right?
What's that?
During your lunch, of course.
Absolutely.
So I'm not sure what this thing is. Is it cross band repeat type of a system, or what is it?
I guess it's called RigPi. I guess it's a Raspberry Pi made by MFJ. Don't have the model number available quite yet, but let me pull it up. But anyways, it plugs into your radio's USB, and you can, and a user interface, you connect with your phone or your laptop. You dial into it basically, and it shows your radio display on the screen, and you can talk, you can do everything what you normally would do remotely, basically.
I'm somewhat familiar with Raspberry Pi. That's basically what that is. I hear like you can use like 100 milliwatts basically, or half a watt or something, and get wherever.
I guess I should say it's just a computer that's using the connection to the radio to repeat the radio on the internet so you can access it. You basically you connect the little Raspberry Pi. It's a box basically. You plug that into your radio USB, and you plug the box into your router, and you got to do some port forwarding. I think doesn't look like it's too complicated, and it's an MFJ 1234B RigPi.
Yeah, I know there's a couple different companies out there that make those things. So you got the MFJ.
Yeah, but the Pi itself doesn't transmit. The radio does. So it's not like a little repeater like the Raspberry Pis that you might have seen online where people use to connect to the internet. This is basically an extension of my microphone and my hand through the internet.
Oh, Okay, so it's a little different than the other Raspberry Pi. Okay, well, I'm still a little bit confused, I guess.
You see if I could send you a text message, and I'll put some info on there.
So are you, let's say when you're struggling to get out, is it going to help you get out a little bit better or something like that, or is that the purpose?
Negative. It's basically me being able to operate my radio anywhere I have an internet connection through my telephone or web browser.
Instead of an antenna or what? Sorry, I'm sounding so ignorant.
No, I understand. It's basically a remote for my radio. So let's say if I'm in the other room, or in this case at work, I can control my radio via the internet versus and having everything exactly the same. My display, all the functionality, everything exactly the same if I was sitting in front of it, but I could do it through the computer.
That's pretty intriguing. So did you order it, or what's the deal?
I just ordered it today. I've been doing some research on it the last couple weeks. Decided to jump in because I know I'll be pretty busy with work coming up, and I won't be able to talk on the radio. It'll be nice to kind of get away from, take a little break from work, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, Roger. Cool. When do you expect to get it?
I hope within a week.
Okay. What company did you get through?
Gigaparts out of Las Vegas.
Okay, I've done business with them before. Yeah, typically if it's in stock, Gigaparts gets stuff in a day or two if it's coming from Vegas.
That'd be awesome. I can get it set up, hopefully by the beginning of next week. And you should have a text here shortly.
Yeah, because they have two different branches, as I understand it. And the Las Vegas branch is our closest one. And when I ordered something from them and it came from Las Vegas, it seems like I got here in less than 2 days max.
Did you do any express shipping or anything like that?
Nope.
So I sent you a little demo video of what they have going on right now with how the system works. It's basically an Ethernet from your router plugs into this little Pi thing, and then USB cable that controls the head unit of your radio and sends the audio to and from.
So you're actually able to use the internet from your phone if you need to?
Yep. Any way that you have internet connection you can use.
Wow, that's pretty cool stuff. Awesome. You're on pretty early this evening.
Yeah, I didn't really have much going on. I'm kind of laying low today. I just went out with my wife had a day off. We had some lunch, and I went over and saw my parents and stuff. It's going to be pretty hectic. I got a pretty long day tomorrow, and next Saturday, or this Saturday and Sunday will be pretty long too. So I'm just kind of chilling a little bit, not doing too much, just resting up for the long next couple weeks ahead of me.
Oh, there you go. Where are you working tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday?
I got a different place every day. Tomorrow I'm at Ducks or at Honda Center. I got to be there at 9:30 a.m. for a 7 p.m. game. So that will be a long day. Saturday, I'm at Dodger Stadium. I'm working a Dodger game remotely that the Dodgers are playing in Colorado. Then back to Ducks on Sunday.
What'd you say about Sunday?
Back to Ducks Honda Center on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Do you get paid overtime or anything when you have to work a holiday? That's Easter, isn't it?
That's a good question. I don't know if Easter is one of our holidays. I definitely get paid extra pay, like time and a half or something like that. But I don't know if Easter is one of those holidays. I have to look.
Okay. Oh, very good. Very good. At least they're 3 fairly local jobs, right? It's not like you're having to fly.
Nope, no flying for a while, unfortunately. Kind of looking to get on an airplane. It's been a while.
I hear they're starting to fill up a little bit better.
Yeah, I've been talking to some guys that are traveling. They almost say it's almost back to normal.
So you got a busy month ahead of you, you said, or a month or two, whatever it was, a few weeks. Any traveling during that time?
No traveling during that time. I'm working, I think I only have 3 or 4 days off this month, and this being one of them.
You think about it, living in LA, there's so many sports teams that you can stay busy here all year long almost, huh?
You can. It just whatever client you're working for, depending on if you're involved with the local production or not, depends. And if you want to travel, I know I used to want to travel. I don't really have a desire, except I do right now because I've been sitting in my house for the last year or so, except for going to Vegas a couple times.
Do they try to get people that are local to have to pay the expense of flying, stuff like that, when possible?
The way it usually works for traveling, like a network level show, they kind of want somebody that knows the show, knows the equipment they're going to be using, and someone qualified to do the show. Sometimes they'll add a show last minute, and they won't have anybody local in the area to do the show, so they'll have to travel somebody in from another market to fill that position, just because of the amount of bodies that need to be there, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, I get it, yeah. But at the same time, you're booked quite in advance typically, right, when things are busy?
I try to be, yeah. 2 weeks ago, I only had like 10 days booked for this month, and now I have like 25, 26 days.
25, 26 days? Wow, that's a lot. Because typically, what would you work, a 5-day week? Most people, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, they'd work about 25 days probably. No, less than that.
It'd be roughly about 20 days a week, 40-hour work week. But we work 10-hour days on our days we work. So even a 5-day week, we're working 50 hours.
Now, I'm not trying to get too nosy. I'm just curious with your job. When you're working over 8 hours, do you get overtime for that too?
That's a little complex. We're guaranteed a 10-hour day of pay. Within that pay, we get a paid lunch, and we get an hour of time and a half, no matter if we work 5 hours or 10 hours. Generally, we work about 9 to 9.5 hours, so it works out to be, not in our favor. Come the summertime with baseball going on, sometimes we get some shorter days, but for the most part, we're pretty much on 9 hours.
If you do a special event, Grammys or whatever, it could take 12 hours or 13 hours. Do you get paid for those extra hours?
Yeah, the way that works is after the 12th hour point, we get a double time rate for, I think that's a California state law, not a federal law, but if we go past 12 hours, we get a double time rate.
Okay, so if you're working over 10 hours, you're still getting paid extra for the hours you're working, I see. I think I heard you right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We are guaranteed 10. Undertime is the new overtime in that case. But you go past 10, you get time and a half till 12, and then double time after 12.
So, boy, if you're working 7 days in a week, you could be working 70 hours that week.
Or more. I know I have a week coming up that I'll probably work close to 90.
Takes a lot of energy.
You got to pace yourself, that's for sure. It's actually not that bad. I mean, you kind of work your way into it. I know when I was off for 6 months last year, Me and a buddy that I normally work with, we normally work long days. We work like 6 hours, about ready to pass out.
I know what you mean. Like as a teacher, like when I'm off for the summer, and I get back in the first week, man, I'm like, my voice is hoarse because I haven't had to. When I'm teaching, I'm projecting my voice quite a bit. You know what I mean? I'm speaking louder than just speaking to you and me if we're 3 feet away. And I'm not used to that after having a couple of months off, and man, I get hoarse for like a week or so till I kind of build back up. Kind of the same thing, you know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. You kind of work into those days, and you work into the long weeks as well. The thing is, you know, with family and everything, trying to plan out laundry and making sure you have food in the house and stuff like that, it gets kind of tricky getting off at 1 o'clock in the morning. But, you know, we all seem to figure it out one way or the other.
Yeah, that's tricky when you're working those kind of hours.
The Ralph's by my house used to be 24 hours, which was really convenient because sometimes I would fly in from a city, then go straight into LA into work, and then come back home and get off at 10:30, 11, whatever, 12. And by that time, you know, most of the grocery stores are closed, but thankfully my local Ralph's was open. That's not there anymore. But I was able to, you know, that saved me a ton of time. If that wasn't open, I would have to get up earlier in the morning and go, then come back and stuff like that. So it was really convenient.
So not to change the subject, but are you hip to power poles?
I am not.
So I've really been getting into them. Ward turned me on to them. He got this power pole distribution center. I was so impressed by it. I bought the exact same one that he has. And I'm starting to go power pole holistic. Putting anything and everything I can power pole wise if possible.
So the power pole comes right out of your power supply, right? And you just attach all your devices to it?
Yeah, and it's all fused, you know, it's all fused and everything, so you don't need to have fuses in your line because these things have their own fuses, and you can change out the fuses to whatever you need to change them to, 30 amp, 15 amp, 5 amp, whatever, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that part of it.
It's pretty slick, so I actually bought this little mini power pole for my work. I picked it up really inexpensively. It's a 4-station power pole thing, so I can hook up and unhook really quickly at work now with that power pole thing. So that's what I was doing. I have a power pole tool now where I can make my own power pole cables and stuff like that, and so I was making one up for work.
Do you have to like crimp up the cables?
Yeah, it's a special tool. It's a special crimping tool just for power poles. But it works pretty easily and good, you know, as long as you get a good quality one.
As of right now, I just have 2 power supplies and two things to plug them in, so no need for a power pole at this point.
Yeah, when you grow, that's when it comes handy. Like, I have 3 things right now, but at one point in time, I had 5 things hooked up to it. So I had like 2 radios, and I had a couple linears, and what else? Why did I have 5? I can't remember, but I had 5 things at once. I don't know how many slots I have total, but I have plenty of room to grow, believe me.
Now here comes the question of the night. Is that grounded?
Is it grounded? Hang on, let me look. I forget if I grounded this or not, okay? I do not have that grounded, but everything that's hooked into it is grounded, so I don't know if it's important or not.
Break.
Yeah, go break.
Hey Keith, how you doing? Is that you, Greg?
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Greg, it's Ward. How you doing this evening?
Great. You sound totally different again tonight.
Oh, no. What did I do wrong?
No, you sound even more natural than before.
All right. Well, I'll tell you in a second. I just turned on the radio. I heard you talking, Keith, about your the rig runner. The only thing it's grounded to is the back of your Astron, the positive and negative. I don't think you need to personally beat that horse on the ground. I don't think there's any spot for it. Go ahead.
No grounding on the power pole. Copy that. And by the way, we're live tonight on YouTube. This is Greg, K6EGG for ID, watching the C-17 flying over Anaheim Stadium.
Roger. Well, I didn't realize I'm probably off frequency a little bit, but I'll set a step aside. Just want to say hello to both you guys, and I'll be listening. W6WWD.
To me, you sound like you're right on frequency. You sound really good. Greg, doesn't he sound pretty good?
He sounds really good and right on frequency. He sounds more natural now than he probably ever has.
Oh, I made one more internal adjustment that I had monkeyed with originally, so I think I'm back down to basically the stock setting, so I think I'm okay now, or where it should be. Go ahead.
It sounds excellent. I wouldn't change a thing from here on out. You sound more natural. You don't sound like robotic, kind of like what you did before. So you could probably go back and take a listen to some of the YouTube things from the last couple of weeks. You can see the difference for yourself.
Hey, QSL, well, thank you, Greg, and I know you're an audio guy, so I'll take that as a compliment or a thumbs up, one of the two. So, real good. Well, go ahead, Keith. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just want to say I think the only ground you got is to the Astron, and I don't think you need one, pal.
Yeah, well, be a part of the conversation. You're not stepping on anybody. Yeah, I've been complaining to Ward the last 2 days, so he's been listening to me. He's been tweaking his sound. I told him the same thing. He sounds really good. We were just working a little bit again today, weren't we, Ward?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, we sure did. I just had remembered when I had changed a couple of things, I had messed with the other setting, and now I've got it not at stock, but just a little wider a bandwidth in the mids. But I will leave it alone. According to, I'll take both of yours advices on that.
I think it was yesterday I was talking to Ward and there was this distortion when Ward would talk, and I thought my speakers, I'm using some little studio JBL monitors, I'm hooking them up directly to my radio. I go, man, my speaker's shot? You know how like when you have a distorted speaker or whatever? Then all of a sudden he started talking to Fred, and Fred wasn't distorted, and he was. I said, wow, I think it's on Ward's end. So he and I started talking, and he started tweaking it, and here's where he's at now. He sounds really good.
Yeah, in fact, I think his audio has gone up, and it has also brought up the signal a little bit. He's past a 9 now on the signal strength, just by a little bit. You guys are almost exactly the same now.
You're hitting me with a 9 tonight also.
Those clouds are helping us out tonight, I think.
They're both weaklings.
Hey, Roberto, where have you been?
Hiding out.
Me too. How you doing, Rob?
Very good. Good to hear you guys out there. November 6 kilowatt X-ray, Rob, in Riverside. I actually did check into the BozoNet last night and hung out for a little bit. Then I went up to 270 to see if anybody was there. It was dead silent, so I kind of just checked out early.
For me, last night I had kind of a late dinner. I kind of hung out with my wife, watched a little TV. Then I came out and I totally forgot about the BozoNet. So about 8 o'clock I went on to 250. It was dead as a doornail. And then I talked to Wars like you guys were, people were hanging out on 270, but I guess it was kind of slow even on 270 last night. So it was just a slow night all the way around, I guess.
Yeah, and I was out here, when was it? I mean, I lose track of time. Getting old sucks. But, yeah, a couple days ago I got on the radio briefly, kind of went around the band a little bit, and it was really quiet again, and I didn't really hang out, so I hung it up. And so I haven't been out here in a while, so maybe things will be more upbeat tonight. I did listen to a little bit of Greg's streaming last night when I was in bed, and I was listening to Ward, and it seemed like Greg was having a hard time tuning Ward in, like he'd been messing with some settings or something and didn't sound as good. But I'm listening to him now just for the last minute or two, and he sounds way, way better, Ward.
There you go, Ward.
Hey, good evening, Rob. I don't know. Yesterday Keith and I were having a little discussion, and I thought it was off frequency, but I had messed with a while back one of the SSB settings on the mid trans bandwidth. And forgot I changed it. That was beyond the bandwidth that I messed with before. So it's back. I changed it back, and so far I think I'm back to where I should be. Good to hear you back. It's been kind of quiet up here the last couple of nights. How you been?
I've been good. It sounds like we got another station out there. Go ahead. No worries. I'm out here in Riverside. I'm about 3 miles of the Adams Street exit by the Auto Center. You've got your signal's pretty low. You're an S1, but I could hear you just fine. That's a good question, but most of us out here actually run vertical. Over. Yeah, Roger on Granada Hills. Can you repeat the call sign? I got, I believe it was Whiskey Bravo 6. What was the suffix? Roger, Whiskey Bravo 6, Charlie Juliet Tango. This is November 6, kilowatt X-ray. Yeah, your signal's, your audio's just fine. I can hear you real good, just not a strong S unit, but all that matters is I can hear you. Over. And so are you running vertical, or are you doing a beam? Yeah, very good. It's definitely working for you. I'm looking you up now on QRZ, and that's a pretty good haul. We're about 70 miles apart. Well, it seems to be working, but hard to confirm for sure. But if it's not, you're probably running pretty low wattage. And as clear as you are, I would guess your amp's probably working, because at 75 miles, that's a pretty decent haul. Over. Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
Hey, San Fernando, I didn't catch your name. This is Keith here, WA6QXA in Long Beach, and I'm running the same amplifier. I don't know if it's the same model, but I'm running the same brand amplifier myself. And I'm getting about an S7 on you, okay? What was the name again? This is Kilo Echo India Tango Hotel Keith over here. Okay, I got the 2-417, so probably very similar. All right, I'm going to hand it over to somebody else. You're doing a fine job, Rick. Good talking to you, and I'll pass it to somebody else to talk to you. You getting a copy?
Yeah, I thought you were still talking to him. Go ahead.
No, I pass it on.
All right, Whiskey Bravo 6, Charlie at Juliet Tango, Whiskey 6, Whiskey Delta. Do you have a copy? 5 and 6. Okay, thanks for 5 and 6. I'm going to switch over horizontal. Can you give me a signal check with that if you don't mind?
Unfortunately, I can't hear the distance station now.
This is WA62XA. That's me. You're wanting to talk to Greg, G-R-E-G-G. He's on K6EGG. Okay, Rick? I'll try a little relay. Greg, you copying Rick out in San Fernando Valley?
I can hear that somebody's talking, but I can't hear what they're saying, so I'll take a standby on this one.
All right. Could you hear Greg at all, Rick? Roger, exactly. Okay. Somebody else go ahead and take it off. Maybe Rob?
Yeah, Roger. Well, it was good talking to you, Rick. Good to hear you out here. And definitely, like Keith said and Ward said, don't hesitate to give a shout out when you're on this frequency. We just hang out. It's very informal, and the more the merrier as far as we're concerned. So good hearing you. I'll turn it over to anybody else if anybody else has anything else for you, but you're really making a good haul out here to Riverside, 75 miles. So 7-3, Rick, November 6th, Kilowatt X-ray, Rob in Riverside. You know, it's too bad that Greg can't copy you because he knows more about the sporadic E than I think most of us do, but he's mentioned to us several times how he's really looking forward to that. Like I said, really good talking to you, Rick. Have a good rest of your evening, and if you're back out here again later, don't hesitate to give a shout out. November 6th, Kilowatt X-ray. I was going to repeat your call sign, but I just forgot it. Wait a minute. I got it. Whiskey Bravo 6, Charlie Juliet Tango 73. Tell you guys, I got an email from a guy that I had a contact with on FT8. This is the second guy. He sent me an email because he was in, where was he? Somewhere in Southern California. And so supposedly he's going to be buying a 9700 and he'll be joining us on this frequency at some point.
Well, that's excellent. He lives in the Inland Empire?
I don't think it was the Inland Empire, but it's somewhere in Southern California. But yeah, I might get to the point where I do a better job of recruiting people than Fred.
Don't let Fred know that.
Well, as quiet as it's been out here the last few nights, I think we need to do more recruiting.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's been quiet, and who knows for the reasons, but absolutely. Well, it's good to hear people joining in, and it's nice to hear some new call signs out there.
Greg got a pretty early start tonight. Greg was on, I don't know, over half an hour ago or so.
Yeah, I'm looking at his stream. It looked like he started an hour and a half ago.
That is correct. I just started it, and I was kind of in and out. I was kind of watching a little bit of baseball. We just kind of changed some stuff over at work, so I wanted to see how it was done. But now I'm free.
Free at last.
Yeah, Greg, you got a great signal tonight. Almost S8 down here. It's as strong as it's ever been.
As we get closer into the beginning of the summer, excuse me, it's only going to get better from here on out. End of June, beginning of July is pretty much the peak from what I can remember. Hopefully we can maybe get some stations in from San Diego coming in.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure everybody else would agree.
I was thinking about joining some simplex groups down in San Diego to promote this frequency, put the stream up there so maybe people can jump on. I'm sure there's a group of guys down there talk on something on simplex down there or something. I know I've heard the guy from the international border quite a bit.
That's a good haul from here. Yeah, that's a good haul from anywhere. So, well, that'd be good. I'll have to look into see what groups are there. Are you talking about Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook groups, anything like that. Maybe Twitter pages, stuff like that. Any type of social media that I can find, web pages, whatever, just to kind of maybe get some more people in here.
Hey, Greg, you might have to give a repeat performance of explaining that ham toy you're going to be getting.
Oh yeah, has anybody, Rob or Ward, you heard of the RigPi system, RigPi remote radio system?
I've heard of. Is that like the Zoom spots?
I don't know what a Zoom spot is. What is that?
It's like an internet-based Pi-Star, I guess.
Kind of. This radio is not like a mini repeater, or this system isn't like a mini repeater. It's basically like an extension of your radio. So you plug this Rig Pi unit into your internet with a Cat 5 at home, and plug the USB cable from your radio into this little mini computer dilly bob thing, whatever it is, Pi. I forget what they call it, Pi something or other. And you pull up the Pi on your internet through the you pull up the interface through the internet on your computer or your iPhone, and you can control your radio and talk through it just like as you were standing right in front of it.
Oh, interesting. I just pulled it up. Yeah, MFJ makes it. That's interesting. Or he makes one, I should say. No, I did not know about this. I know the Zoom spots are kind of like you can hook your DSAR through on the internet and so forth. But no, thanks for bringing this up.
Yeah, so I know I'm going to be pretty busy with work, and at one point I'm going to be staying in a hotel up in LA. So I'd love to chat with you guys. I'll have some evenings off, so hopefully I can get this thing working correctly and I can chat. Although I'm going to have to do it without my amplifier on, with only barefoot 100 watts, so I should still make the trip out to you guys.
You want the top floor of that hotel.
That's the thing. It has nothing to do with where I'm at. I can be at 2,000 miles away. It has to do with my internet connection. I connect to my radio, so whatever my radio puts out here, it'll be just like I'm at home, basically.
QSL. Well, then do you need to make sure you're close to their server so you get the high-speed internet?
Yeah, I got to make sure I get some good internet. Some of these hotels are pretty miserable. The last hotel I was at, where was I staying at a couple weeks ago? I had to use my cell phone connection.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. For sure. Well, that's great. Well, that'd be nice if you could jump on. I'd like to see that in action.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get it worked out before I leave for a couple of days, and that way I can, talk to you guys and adjust things. As soon as I get set up in my house, I should have it set up to go remotely. But it'll be a nice little feature, and for me when I'm at work and I got some downtime or whatever, so I can jump on and say hi to you guys at night.
That's awesome. Well, it's good to know. Thanks for sharing with that. That's what I like. I like some of the stuff I've never seen before. That's interesting.
I'm going to send that link over. I looked it up on the web. I'm going to send this over to Luis. He was looking into something very similar to this, because he's on the road all the time. He's always traveling out of state. So I told him that there's different software out there that you can use to control your radio remotely, but I haven't seen this one. So thanks for sharing, Greg.
No problem. I got a real quick funny story for you guys. I'll leave the frequency there for a second. Anybody out there? Nope, I'll continue. I was sitting on a plane flying from Orlando to LAX, and I was talking to a guy. I said, there's one thing I always hate about traveling is I can't keep up on my TV shows. Keep in mind, this is in the early 2000s. And I go, I wish there's some way I can connect, on my computer to my home TiVo, whatever. And this guy happened to be he was like one of the head guys over at Slingbox out of the Bay Area, which is basically like a not time shifting, but place shifting software for your DVR. And this guy wouldn't explain the whole thing and how it works. So basically, you get on your computer and you load the software, and you have a box at your house connected to your what I had at the time. I still have a TiVo or your cable box. And you have a little IR remote, and you can control everything at home. You get streamed to your computer. So basically, what the Slingbox is doing is what this Pi rig is going to be doing on the radio side of things, and it's two-way.
Can you repeat the model? I'm kind of looking it up on the internet myself. Can you repeat the model so I can dig it up?
I think I sent you a YouTube thing. It's MFJ1234B as in boy. So there's a newer version that came out in November of last year.
So I haven't even looked at it yet. Let me take a pause, you guys, and let me look at this thing. Thanks. WA6QXA, we're on the side.
Yeah, so if you have internet there at your house or in your shack, Keith, and you don't want to mess with bringing your radio to work, you can do it on your laptop if you have Wi-Fi or your cell phone.
That might be something really cool for work, I'll tell you.
That might be good for my mobile too, because I could plug my I have what's it called not iCloud, but AirPlay into my car, so I can control everything from my screen. That would be really nice if I can get that thing working on that.
I have one more week next week to work, then I get a week off for our spring break. And then I'm teaching full-time live with the kids at 2 different schools a week. So the one school is my main school. I'm there 3 days a week. The other school, I'm there 2 days a week. I've got the antenna situation and all that for my main school, but I have nothing for the second school. So something like that could be pretty cool. You know what I mean? So thanks for sharing. I'm going to look at this stuff.
Yeah, sorry you're going to spend more money now.
What's new? Yeah.
Good old ham radio. Just keep digging.
Well, I was told the ham stands for had a lot of money.
Absolutely.
I've had a lot of hobbies. They can all be expensive. They can all be less expensive. But do you know what Jeep stands for?
Negative.
Just empty every pocket.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I was into boating for a long time, 20, 30 years. Break out another 1,000.
It adds up really fast when you're modifying a Jeep.
Is it true what they say about a boat? The happiest days are when you get it and when you sell it?
Pretty much. I've had 2 boats in my lifetime, and I haven't had a boat for about 5 years, and it's been a nice relief. But it was fun back in the day when my son was younger, and we would, vacation, do all the fun things, but it was nice not to be doing it anymore.
Yeah, I have some friends that have some boats, and I know they don't use it very often, and I kind of wonder, I'm not judging or anything, but I wouldn't spend money on something sitting in a garage or in storage for 11 months of the year.
I agree. It's funny. I grew up with a boat. We had a boat when I was a teenager, and I don't own a boat. And it was based largely on my parents' experience with it.
So, hey, Greg, is it the MFJ1234B RigPi remote station server? Is that what you ended up getting?
Yeah, Bravo at the end. Supposedly that's a newer one, has better, faster software. There's a little bit less of a delay, and it has more radio supported, but I'm pretty sure it supports most of the ones we have, the newer radios. I know it does the 7300 and 9700, so for the most part, I think it's just the older radios like the Kenwoods and like TS2000s and stuff. I don't know if they they support them still.
Looks intriguing. I have to dig into this further.
Well, I'll be your test subject. I can get that thing to work and get good audio going through it. I'm gonna use that maybe downstairs or something, so I don't have to be in my office the whole time.
Perfect. I'll let you be the guinea pig.
Or I can be outside barbecuing, which one of the reasons why I miss my TS2000 is the crossband repeat. I would sit in my backyard and just have my little HT back there on 5 milliwatts and can talk all the way down to San Diego with it.
I have TM400 that I have sitting here unused.
Sorry, I keyed over you.
I'm sorry I keyed over you there, Rob.
Oh, no, I keyed over you. Sorry about that, Greg. I was just saying the crossband repeat thing and using your handy talkie outside in the backyard while you're barbecuing is spot on. I've got an FTM400 sitting here in my shack being unused. I'm thinking about selling it, but when summer gets here, I'm going to want to use that crossband repeat.
Yep, that's what I really enjoyed. My two favorite things, or at least I like doing on my free time, is barbecuing and playing with radios. So I get to do it all at once, and it was really nice sitting in my backyard, just enjoying the fresh air.
Yeah, and we spend a lot of time in our backyard barbecuing in the summer. Lots of time back there. November 6 kilowatt X-ray. I'm going to take a quick break. I forgot my water, my beverage in the house, so I'll be back shortly.
Copy that, and I'm definitely looking forward to smoking some meat this summer.
Is that Greg?
Yep.
Hey, Greg, it's Andy, AJ6BE. How you doing?
Hey, Andy, nice to talk to you. Greg, K6EGG.
I think I heard Keith out there, too. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Andy. Get your radio yet?
No, next Friday, I think.
Who'd you get it from?
Ham Radio Outlet.
Oh, okay, so they're having to ship it to you from another branch?
Well, I'm having all the filters you can get installed, and I guess it has to be done at the factory because they're soldered onto the board. They try to make the receiver real quiet so they don't do the press-in filters. They do the solder-on kind. So rather than get my radio and take it back to them and have it done, I figured I'd just order it with everything in it, and that way I don't got to worry about it.
Roger. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll pass on.
I'm excited about it. Can't wait.
How you doing, Andy? It's Ward.
Hey, Ward. How are you?
Hey, real good. Real good. Good to hear you. Good to hear you. Yeah. Still excited for you. Can't wait till you get that rig. You're going to have a blast.
Yeah, it's already got me looking at headsets or, you buy one thing, you got to buy all the little things for it, right?
Yeah, Roger. If you're looking for a headset, I mean, you want to try out some. I've got two Heils that I don't use. I got a Heil Pro 7 set and another one. The Pro set is a great. They sound real good, but it's a little too tight for my head, so I don't really use it anymore. Welcome to try it out if you like it.
Oh, I may need to do that because I've got kind of a fat head, so that may not work out for me then.
Yeah, they're the aviation style, and they're kind of tight. I can wear it for about an hour or so, but it just doesn't feel good, for the rest of the day. So I kind of go with just a foot switch or a hand switch with the boom mic and the speakers.
Yeah, I figured I'd try it with a speaker and see how that goes first. Did I hear somebody talking about smoking some brisket on the summer days?
Definitely be smoking something. I'm usually smoking tri-tip and ribs.
There you go. My wife sent me a picture today of, I think it was $2.95 a pound brisket at the Costco, San Bernardino Costco. Apparently was the only one that had it.
That's actually not that bad. Last year when I had a lot of time to smoke, and more than enough time to smoke, there was no meat available. What there was, it was like double the price. I'm glad to see the prices went down a little bit.
I'm relatively new to smoking myself, so I'm afraid to start with an expensive piece of meat, My son-in-law is the one that's really the smoker, and I'm trying to remember what he does, prime rib or I forget, some other kind of meat that you can make turn out somewhat like a good brisket if you do some tricks to it. Does that make sense?
Yep, totally understand right there. Totally.
That's way over my head, but I'm learning.
Take your time. I would start with cheap meat and easy meat to deal with, like tri-tip. You can refine your cooking methods and your temperature control that way. I know I tried to do some ribs at first, and I just was going through a ton of money, and the ribs were coming out really bad. The ribs are pretty expensive for the most part too.
No, That's something I was going to try this weekend, actually. Get a couple racks from Costco and throw them on there and see how it turns out. Are they pretty tough? Like, I'm literally, I think I smoked my first, like, all-day smoke when did I do it? Last Thursday or something? So, yeah, it's relatively new to me.
Pork on a smoker is very unforgiving. Once they get past a certain temperature, they can dry out really quick if you don't keep them hydrated. So you got to have your temperature right on spot for the whole time. You can't let it have peaks and too many low temperatures going on, or the meat will just disintegrate on you. It really sucks because you can't make up for it after.
I'll have to dip my toe in the water a little bit at a time, I guess.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. I went through the first couple times I did ribs. I got so pissed off at myself. And then one time I watched YouTube actually, and I followed this guy's method to a T, and it turned out perfect, exactly the way I wanted it. But just putting on the rub, keeping it on too long before you put the smoke on, or too less, really makes a huge difference as well.
What is your tool of choice?
For a smoker?
Yes.
I have a Traeger I've been using for Traeger, I think it's called, for the ribs, because it's easier to control the temperature. And when I do beef, or sometimes if I really want to make the ribs taste really, really smoky and good, you don't want to have them over smoke, by the way. I have a Weber Smoky Mountain, 22-inch, I believe. I've had some tri-tip that come off of there. That just like you throw the slab, the piece on your mouth, and it just melts into your tongue. It just came out great.
Right on. Yeah, those Traegers are pretty solid for constant temp, right?
Yeah, they are. They're good for if you have family over and you just want to throw the meat on there and you're just kind of double checking the temperature now and then and putting a little bit of spray on. But the flavor between the two are it's undisputable. I can close my eyes. I could tell you which one was naturally smoked or not. So definitely the Smoky Mountain Weber with the real charcoal and real wood chips or chunks definitely has a lot better flavor, more denser flavor to it.
What about you, Rob? What's your car of choice on the...
I also want to say hi to KE4JDH.
Your signal seems a little weaker tonight for some reason. But other than that, sorry, what was the question? My meat of choice on the barbecue?
What is the barbecue that you use in meat of choice? Yeah.
Yeah, we're just using gas barbecue built in out in the backyard. Our favorite is tri-tip. That's just the best general overall meat, in my opinion, for cooking on the grill. Of course, we do chicken and all the other good stuff too, even vegetables, corn on the cob. You name it, we've done it. I've even cooked a turkey out there for Thanksgiving in the past.
Ooh, I'd like to try that this year, I think.
By the way, what radio did you get?
I bought the, what is it, F something or other, 101 MP. Yeah, it looks so pretty, man. I can't wait.
I wonder, is Ward going to get a commission?
He should. He was the closer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't blame him, man. I would love to have that radio. I can't believe you went with the MP, too.
Yeah, it was one of those things, like it wasn't just the extra wattage, it's all the other stuff that comes with it. It's a better deal.
Exactly. You do have to take that other stuff into consideration. I mean, it's got its own power supply, too.
yeah, totally different finals running on 50 volts. I mean, it's just cleaner. It's got some, I don't even know the term for it, but it's got some variable adjustable thing on the receiver that you have to pay extra for with the D model. And it comes with a filter that the D model doesn't. So yeah, if you add it all up, although it's more money that I didn't really want to spend right now, it was the right choice.
Yeah. I mean, when you get a radio like that, I just have a hard time believing you would ever.
So James, if you're listening, I'm going to bring down the radio real quick. Explain to my setup here. It's a little bit convoluted. I have an Avalon preamp that I have this RE20 hooked up with a fathead preamp on the back of it as well. That needs phantom power from the Avalon, and I have the Avalon going into a splitter, one going to my radio, the 9700 that I have, and this thing keeps popping up. Sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't lose anything. And then the splitter goes to the radio, one output, one goes to the microphone. The other side goes in, the input side obviously goes to the preamp. I found if I plug the mic directly in, this microphone directly into the radio, the audio sounded really low, not natural, and not at a good level. Like the impedance sounded wrong. Even though the impedance is 300 ohms, it still didn't. I couldn't get enough gain out of the microphone for some reason. I didn't understand why. So I did some more research and found that the radio was looking for a amplified microphone, which is stock with this. So I decided to amplify it by using this fathead right here. I think it's FETHAT. They get them at B&H Photo. They're about $100. I'll give you a little demonstration of how different they sound without the preamp. This is just into my mixer, by the way. And you can see the dynamic is totally different. The level is way lower. Doesn't have a lot of full range. And if I went on the radio, it'd be like me talking directly into this with no amplifier. So the level will be low, and I'm up to 65% on my mic gain. I'm going to go back to where it was before. That was loud in my ears, by the way. All right, can you be... Daughter came in real quick. Sorry about that. So that's kind of the way I have this hooked up. It's not exactly a normal radio way, but it was a good way to get the audio level going. And I'm going to keep the stream up with the audio going from the radio. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to say goodnight to my daughter.
Commercial stuff, I believe it's hollow. It's a hollow. It doesn't have a solid core. Am I correct on that?
This stuff has a foam core, but I think they make them both ways.
Yeah, Roger. I mean, I think Alex would probably be the guy to talk to on the hard line and those Heliac. You know, I went with 600, and it was a big improvement over Elmar 400, so that's why I threw my hat in the ring. I could definitely say it's not as pliable or flexible as the 400, but it's still pretty. It's a solid core. It's not the strand. It is workable for sure, but not as easy as the 400. The Heliacs, I don't know how pliable that is, because some of that looks like it's I wouldn't call it a jacket, but it looks more like a formed bevel type tubing. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, it does appear to be that way, yes.
There's Alex right there. He's got the answer for you, Andy.
Yeah, go hardline, would you?
Well, I can't quite pick them out.
No, I said go hardline, over.
Oh, I got you that time on the beam. Hardline every time, huh?
Well, it depends. 2 meters, 432. How long a run is it?
About 65 feet, and my 440 is just dead. I've got nothing on 440 at the other end of my coax, so I want to buy something better. So for 2 meter 440, go Heliacs over 600.
Hardline, but it's quite expensive, over.
I think I jumped over you there. I didn't quite finish unkeying there. Say again?
On 432 or 440, you use 7/8 hard line as a general rule, and 1296 7/8. But you can get away with 100 feet on, I don't know, 75 feet, something like that, with half inch or 2 meters. But you got to make pigtails if you're going to use rotors and go around the rotors. Over.
Yeah, just change to something a little more flexible at that point.
Yeah, just where you come into the radio, you use some flexible stuff, and when you go to the rotors and the antenna, use some flexible stuff there. LMR 400 flex is fine. Over.
Copy. I appreciate it, Alex. Thank you.
But you can find a use. I got a roll of stuff I've got out here that I got used of 7/8 hard line for 2 meters. And if you're going to go 100 run, if you can get 7/8, do it. Over.
Okay, copy.
Anyway, I just got back from the dentist. I had a couple of teeth yanked. Anyway, it doesn't hurt as bad as the rest of the guys who've pulled my teeth before. Anyway, back over to you, Ward.
No problem. Good to hear you, Alex. Glad you're feeling okay. Hopefully it stays that way. Yeah, I just was giving my 2 cents on the 600 versus 400, but you're definitely right. I said you were the expert, so good to hear you. Go ahead, Andy.
Decisions. Yeah, that's expensive stuff, but I think running a solid one out there would be a world of difference. I don't know that I want to change my antenna yet, but that'd be next.
Yeah, the antenna you run, it's for your beam, you said?
Well, that's part of the problem, I guess. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs of coax going out through the roof, and only one of them is LMR 400. Everything else is 8X. So the HF, it's okay probably for the run I've got, but for everything else, it's horrible.
Yeah, I imagine you get more line loss, obviously, in the higher frequencies, but I know for what I used, the 600, LMR 600 was a big improvement over the 400, but that was just for me. But my runs, these are both 75-footers, and they're going to end up being cut a little more, so that's why I thought I'd just say I'm so far a fan of 600, but as Alex said, that hard line or 7/8, probably can't beat that stuff. And I imagine the connectors aren't cheap.
Yeah, that's probably a true statement. I didn't even think to look at that part yet.
Well, look on eBay. Look on eBay for used stuff. I mean, it'll last for a long time. Over.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I'll just jump in real quick, W6WWD. I did find a place that sells the Times microwave fittings down here in Irvine, Orange County area. And they were definitely pretty reasonable for, they got the crimp-ons or the clamp-ons, and they have all sorts. It looks like they're a big aerospace type distributor as well, so they got a lot of stuff. And if you need the information, just let me know.
Okay, they're pretty reasonable compared to like an HRO?
Yeah, I found them to be. I mean, stuff that HRO wanted, $40, $50 a terminal, or a connector. These guys were like $20 to $23 for Times microwave. I got it, I bought some, and the package came in. They're packaged up in a Times microwave printed bag and everything. So it's called Pasternak, if I'm not mistaken. Pasternak, Pasterneck. They're down there in, I think it's Irvine area.
I got it written down. Thanks. You guys better watch out. I don't know if I get some hard line and a couple of good connectors and maybe even get a longer antenna, there might be a new king of the hill. Who am I kidding? When Rob's got his radio on, there's no chance.
You got Rob and I got Fred.
I think Rob's got about 1,500 feet on me or something.
Hell, wait until I get hard line.
No!
I'm running 75 feet of LMR 400, and I can't help but wonder in hindsight if I shouldn't have gone with the 600.
Well, I'll tell you here in a minute. I'm looking at all the charts right now.
It's kind of frustrating because I only need about 60 feet, but they only sell them in lengths of 50 feet and 75 feet, at least at HRO.
They'll do custom lengths for you, though, won't they?
Not that I know of, but I guess that's possible. Bob didn't mention it to me when I specifically told him that I only needed about 60 feet.
I thought they would make them up for you.
I think most of their cable is just the pre-made stuff. They don't make it there as far as I know.
I think there's another station out there. Who's the station?
It's Kilo, Mike 6, Foxtrot, Zulu, X-ray. Lou out here in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah, I got the name Lou in Sherman Oaks. Go ahead.
I was kind of curious as to where you guys were located.
All right, Lou, this is Ward W6WWD. I'm in Cypress near Knott's Berry Farm. And then we've got Rob out in Riverside. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. I gotta call Airhead tonight. Rob in Riverside, Andy in Norco. We have Keith in Long Beach, and Alex in Long Beach, and Greg in Chino, K6EGG, who's live streaming on YouTube. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger on that. Okay, I was just kind of curious because you guys are coming in really well tonight in Sherman Oaks. You guys doing about a 5.5 to a 5.3, bouncing around. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Roger, Lou, you're about the same in the Cypress. You're about a S3 to S5. This is Ward W6WWD, if that's what you asked.
Oh, Roger on that. Okay, well, I didn't want to disturb you guys. I was just kind of curious. I'll be on the side. 3 and 6 to the road.
Well, you're not disturbing at all. Jump in any time. I'll turn it back over to Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Ward. I appreciate that. Lou, do you have a copy of Rob in Riverside, November 6 kilowatt X-ray? I'm not sure if you're the Sherman Oaks station I've talked to you before, over.
Well, probably so there. I'm on Burbank and Chester, right by the 405, actually.
Yeah, because I can check my logbook, but if you're the same Sherman Oaks station that I've talked to before, you're actually still pretty much tied for the longest communication that I've had yet. No, you're somebody different. Oh no, that's Simi Valley. Never mind. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we haven't talked before.
I don't know. I kind of remember your call sign. I don't have my computer up right now to find out. But you're hopping around 5.3 to 5.5, and I just had my beam turned in that direction when I turned on the radio, so I kind of heard you guys out there.
Oh, Roger, and I apologize. Can you give me your call sign again?
Sure, it's KM6FGX. That's Kilo Mike 6. Foxtrot Zulu X-ray. Foxtrot Zulu X-ray.
Let me repeat it. Kilo Mike 6 Foxtrot Zulu X-ray. Very cool. If you don't mind, I'm going to look you up on QRZ and see how far apart we are.
Now you're going to see a bunch of antennas on top of my apartment building.
Weren't you the one that worked at Fedco? This is Greg, K6EGG.
Yeah, Greg, KM6FGX. I can hear you. You're not reading my meter, and I don't know exactly where you're located, so I can't turn the beam, but I can copy you. Go ahead.
Yeah, copy that, Lou. I think we've talked before a couple times. I think you mentioned before that you worked at Fedco over in Ontario, or you opened a store or something a couple months ago. You're part of the 144.215 net. I think that has like a Zoom meeting or something, if that's correct. Does that sound right?
That's the San Fernando Valley Roundtable that meets on Tuesdays and Fridays on that frequency,
Yeah, I've heard you down here before. It's nice that the conditions are improving here on the 2-meter sideband. We can all make contact again. It's been kind of quiet out here the last couple weeks, and a lot of dry and staticky air, so it's kind of keeping down things. I'm hoping the propagation will come up here in the next 6 to 8 weeks and get us some good contacts coming up.
Yeah, well, I guess we're all hoping that the conditions stay really good, and maybe we can get those 2 Hawaiian stations out there.
Man, I wish I had a beam to join in that fun, but I'm going to pass it along to somebody else here. This is Greg, K6EGG from the city of Chino, 2 miles north of the Chino airport.
Hey, Lou, this is Keith from Long Beach, KN6FX. This is WA6QXA. How you doing this evening, Lou?
Hey, Keith, I'm not doing bad at all. Your signal is fantastic as always. Yeah, you sound really, really good. It must be actually pretty nice out in Long Beach. I worked in Gardena, so it was pretty nice out there today.
Okay, do you normally work Gardena or just once in a while?
Actually, I work there all the time. I run the Hustler and Lucky Lady casinos out there.
Okay, my son works in Gardena, so that's who I asked. Very good.
Thank you.
Well, it's good talking to you. You sound good over here also. You hit me about an S9, so I'll pass on to somebody else. Good talking to you, Lou. 73.
73, man.
Starting to get a little busy out here tonight. It's good to hear a lot of people out.
I love it. Hey, Lou, so I looked you up on QRZ, and we did talk before. I recognize the picture of the Mustang.
Yeah, everybody seems to gravitate towards the Mustang. Although I'm not driving it that much anymore because, 9 miles per gallon is not fun.
Ouch. I've got a Jeep, but I get a little better than that.
Actually, so it's a 427 that's in there right now. And it feels I spend way too much money on that car. But I actually am going to be trading in a 335i BMW on a Jeep. And I just haven't decided whether or not I want the Gladiator or I want to, get one of the other ones. But I'm really looking at that Gladiator.
Those Gladiators are pretty cool, I'll tell you. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Have you given any thought to the new Ford Bronco?
Actually, that was the first thing that I wanted to get, but unfortunately, you have to order it. And of course, down here, I would order it through Galvin Ford, because they're the largest one. But it takes about 3.5, 4 months to get. And even Galvin Ford is asking almost $5,000 to $10,000. Well, the most they're asking really is about $5,000 over sticker. And I just don't want to do that. If I'm going to do that, I'd rather get, something right away.
Yeah, roger that. I've got a good friend of mine who lives in Arkansas. He ordered the new Bronco, and he ordered within the first week of it being available to order. And even though he got in on the first week, he's still not even going to get a 2021 model year to be a 2022.
Yeah, that's the other problem too. Is they can't guarantee anything at all. All they do is even though you order it through the website, they just put you on a waiting list, and the person that pays the most is the one that gets it.
Yeah, my Jeep's a 2017, so it's the JK, and it was the last year before they came out with the new platform. But, you know, it was the same thing for me. It's like, well, did I want to wait another year and take a chance on a new platform, or get the tried and true JK and have fun with it now? I have no regrets.
Well, actually, you know, let me ask you a couple of questions, because, you know, if you take a look, I mean, I've got some friends that have it, and, you know, they're always marked with, you know, 100% experience, satisfaction of the vehicle, but there are quite a few things as far as maintenance and things like that for it. Have you found that to be true?
I'm sorry, what was the question with regard to maintenance?
Well, it seems that what Consumer Reports says is that customer satisfaction seems to be off the scale, but customer, you know, repairs seem to happen more frequently with it.
Well, I can tell you I've had no problems with the Jeep, and maintenance is just regular routine maintenance, and I take that thing off-road all the time.
Wow, well, that's good to know, because, like I said, I'm just, I would really like to get the Bronco, but I think I'm gonna break down and get the Jeep anytime now.
Well, very cool. Welcome to the club. I'll tell you one thing that I've noticed is there's definitely no shortage of off-road enthusiasts in the ham radio hobby.
Well, apparently there's quite a few. You know, I mean, I didn't realize it, but there is. And actually for GMRS as well, I had no idea that a lot of these clubs use GMRS radios as well when they're out there.
Absolutely. GMRS radios are very, very popular in the Jeep community. Really, the reason that I'm even talking to you right now is because of my Jeep. Everybody started dumping their CBs and putting ham radios or GMRS. And so it just rekindled my memories of loving radio, CB, and ham radio back in the 80s. So one thing led to another. You know, I put a Yaesu FTM 400 in the Jeep, and then I just got interested in the whole HF thing again and everything, and here I am.
Well, you know, I guess that's a stepping stone. Everybody likes it. Well, okay, I'll go on the side here and give other people a chance here. I didn't want to just come in and drop you guys.
Oh, no worries at all. It's good to hear you out here again, Lou, and hope to hear you again soon. 7-3, and we'll catch up again on the Jeep stuff later. And congrats if you get that Gladiator, man. That thing's going to be awesome. November 6th, Kilowatt X-Ray, Rob and Riverside.
7-3, KM6XDX.
I've got to say, guys, tonight the band conditions seem to be a lot better. Alex was coming in here much stronger than normal, too.
These tropical clouds are helping us a lot. This is what's going to happen in June, hopefully. I hope.
I tend to think you're exactly right. Those clouds, which I wasn't expecting. I looked outside, I'm like, where did those come from?
I don't remember seeing anything in the forecast about rain coming in, and apparently parts of Orange County got a little bit of rain coming in. I didn't see anything here in the Inland Empire, but definitely quite surprised.
Well, of course, I washed my wife's car this weekend, and yeah, she works in Corona, and she got rain on her car.
Of course. By the way, you going into your work UTH tomorrow?
I am. Are you?
I'll be either taking the 91 or 57 probably about 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm usually on the freeway by 6:15, 6:30 at the latest. So I'm usually at work by 7.
I definitely won't be hearing you on the radio at all tomorrow morning then.
Yeah, I could give you a shout out on my way home though.
Unfortunately, I'm going to probably be at work till about 10:30 tomorrow night.
Yeah, hey, caramba.
Yeah, a little bit of a long weekend coming up.
Some big sports gigs?
Not really, just kind of changing some stuff out at work, so they want us there a little bit earlier. By the way, I want to say hello to K6EGG, who is listening on the live stream tonight. Probably picked this up off of maybe the Icom 9700 site or group over on Facebook. So what's going on, James? I know he was asking some questions about the RE20 that I'm running. It looked like on his QRZ page that he also had an RE20. So hopefully you can get that thing going in your radio the way you like it.
I turned my beam a little bit closer to you guys. Can you hear me better?
Oh, that's way better for me. This is Greg, K6EGG.
Yeah, I was listening and I was able to just tune in a little bit better. So you popped up to almost a 6 on my meter.
Yeah, you're same here. If you're really energetic and you have a phone or a computer nearby, you can check and see how you sound down here in the Empire by going to YouTube, typing in the search engine. My caller is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf Live, and should be first thing that pops up. You can see how your audio sounds and everything like that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oops.
It looks like James is located in Alabama.
Springfield or something like that, I think I saw.
Yep, Roger.
And that's a nice RE20 he has there going. Yeah, these 9700s are a little tricky about the dynamic microphones that you put them into them. They're looking for like some sort of electronic type of microphone or something like that. I know I saw online that dynamic mics weren't working as good with these radios, so I did a little trickery to get it to work correctly, or at least to sound correct.
Yeah, Greg, we're at W6WWD. I tried to use my Heil PR40 on the 9700, and it just did not work well at all.
Well, the little trick, you might have to spend some money, but is have a Phantom Power preamp into a splitter, and then use another preamp on the back of the microphone, assuming that it's a dynamic microphone, correct?
I'd have to triple check, but I believe it is.
Yeah, let me give you a little quick demo how this sounds with no 48 volts and no preamp on the back of the microphone here. So this is none of that, right? Or this is with the preamp and the 48 volts on, and I'll be right back with no preamp and no 48 volts. And I'm back with no preamp, no 48 volts. So you could probably see a little bit of a difference there, or sound difference.
Yeah, definitely. Total difference. Yeah, I got it. Thank you for the demo.
And my mouth is in exactly the same place, and I'm talking to exactly the same level as I did before. So I'm going to put this back in here.
Roger that. Thanks for the demo. That's you got to have that extra juice.
And this is with it back in here with the same level of me talking right now, so you can totally tell the difference in audio dynamics as well as level and frequency response.
A lot more punch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I should probably put something on a web page or explain to people, because I know first off, the stock microphone sounds awesome on those 97 on this 9700, but I just wanted something a little above and beyond, which I know I didn't need, but I just wanted to have a little distinct sound in my station, if you know what I mean.
It works well for you. I know. I like it.
Indeed, and I do think you definitely have a distinct sound. And it's not just the microphone. You combine that with your amp, it definitely does the job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a lot of messing around to try to get this going. There's no real roadmap to making this thing work, which is kind of strange, but I guess somebody maybe should put out something about dynamic microphones with these radios, maybe.
Yeah, Greg, you should consider getting in the occupation of pro audio.
Maybe one of these days.
Seems like you got a knack for it.
We won't even be hearing Andy out here anymore once he gets that damn radio.
He'll be bye-bye on HF land.
Exactly.
My CW will be bleeding all over the place. Who are you kidding?
That's great.
Yeah, you probably bleed on me. You're so close to me almost.
You'll see the little.
What antenna are you going to be using with that thing?
I've got a fan dipole that works pretty well for me.
Cool.
Although I also have a 500-foot spool of wire that I bought that I want to play with too, so who knows?
Yeah, I've got that too, just sitting in my garage.
Yep, that's where mine is.
I got to get motivated to put that stuff to use. Might just have Keith come over and do it for me.
What do you want me to do?
Put my 500 feet of wire that I bought to use for my antenna. The plan was to use it for radials.
You don't want me to do it. I'm trying to put together a power pole, like a jumper cable. I've had to cut it like 2 or 3 different times because I keep doing it wrong.
Yeah, but the point is you get motivated and you do it, and you get it done one way or the other. I have a hard time sometimes getting motivated to actually do this stuff.
Break. Well, I'd get motivated before the sun gets real hot out there.
Yeah, especially in Riverside.
90s today.
Yeah, that Riverside could be baking, though. I know. I'd be playing antennas out in that sun. You'd be jumping in the pool more often.
Well, luckily the pool's about, 15 feet from the shack, so that would probably work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all I did, I tell you, I pre-cut mine, made them up, soldered them, and took them out there and put them in my little bus bar that I bought and got it over with. And and get it onto your guy wires or your guy ropes.
Yeah, the hard part for me is taking that stupid antenna down. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and none of it's ever easy, is it?
Well, when I get around to it, I want to put that thing up 5 more feet, and that should not be hard.
Ford actually has a lot of experience pulling up and down antennas.
Yeah, roger that.
Yeah, unfortunately. If you need a hand, let me know.
If you need a hand, I'll be jeeping.
You be what?
I'll be jeeping that day.
Everybody becomes real busy.
I enjoy tinkering with HF antennas that I can wheel up on a little pulley system. I don't like taking the one down off the roof.
Yeah, Roger. No, I don't like it either. My hex beam's on the 2nd story, and that's where it stays. The VHF is on a Roan push-up, so that's a lot easier. But it's still, what you think is going to take an hour usually takes 3 or 4.
I still want to get a tower I can tip over and work on and tip it back up. That just sounds like a dream.
Oh, absolutely. That is a dream in my book. I mean, if you got the property for it, shoot, that would be perfect.
I'm pretty excited about how much better the conditions are tonight. Even just last night, the conditions were horrible. That was the other reason I turned the radio off early. Listening to the BozoNet, even those guys were talking about how bad it was.
I guess I didn't miss much last night.
It was pretty bad.
There was a few people giving relays because the conditions were horrible.
Yeah, you could check the stream out from last night to hear how much. There was like 3 yes units of noise in my area. It was not good.
Your noise levels to me always seem pretty low, Greg.
Maybe because I'm not grounded.
I'm telling you, you might want to double think that grounding idea.
I can always unplug it. That's the thing. So it may make it a little bit better. Who knows?
No, exactly. But yeah, your noise levels, especially considering you have your preamp on, are quite a bit lower than mine.
Yeah, I always like to run the preamp. I want to bring in as many voices as I can. I know it adds to the noise, but I'll take the extra noise over the losing the contact, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, so I'm looking at your noise level between transmissions, and yours is almost identical to mine, but like I said, the difference is I don't have a preamp on and you do. So it's actually a fairly significant difference.
And as we're talking about it, it looks like it's going up just a tad, but who knows? Maybe no ground is making a difference. I mean, I guess we'll find out. I could do a test here live when I get those grounds going, if I get them going in the next couple of weeks.
I don't know. Was there a double there?
I might have accidentally doubled on him. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Greg won, but...
was just saying my S level of noise is like 0 right now, but if I put my preamp on, it goes to a 5.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge difference.
That's 5 ground rods, so don't think that works all the time.
Yeah, roger that.
And look at that with the preamp off.
Wow, that's impressive, Greg.
I think I'm going to turn the preamp off for now just to save my ears a little bit. This is actually soothing.
Man, I'm jealous. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really good, Greg.
That's actually the cleanest I think I've had it here in a long time. It's maybe it's the conditions. Who knows? I mean, I was talking to my wife earlier. I'm liking these tropical clouds.
I'm just the opposite. I'm getting like an S7 noise, but everybody's way above it, so it's not bothering me.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got some noise out here. It's not as bad as last night, and I checked on FM. It's about 1 S unit lower than yesterday. So 1 S unit of lower noise, that is enough to make a difference. But despite the fact that I do have some noise, the conditions overall are definitely better in terms of being able to receive some stations.
The one thing I noticed about tonight that I haven't noticed in a long time, everybody sounds cleaner, crisper. I don't know if you guys would have, you guys can listen to the stream yourself and compare to the last couple streams, but you guys definitely sound a lot different.
I would agree with that, and to me it almost seems like we just have had an easier time tonight, everybody tuning in to the same frequency.
Yep, and the Ward's improvement, man. Every time I talk to him, it seems like he gets better and better. The first time I remember talking to him, I could barely hear him. With my preamp on, he was coming in on S2. So Keith was pretty low too, but he probably came up the most.
I really got on Ward's case yesterday. I thought he was going to be mad at me. I said, "What'd you do to your station? You don't sound so hot."
Why is it? Were you the one talking him into the changes?
I think so. It was really weird. I was getting like distortion in my speakers, like you have a blown speaker, that sound, And I thought, man, I'm using like these little JBL monitors, for my radio. They're not cheap, and I just thought, man, these speakers are like shot. All of a sudden, Ward was talking, because he and I were talking with each other, and all of a sudden, Fred started talking to Ward, and Fred didn't have that distortion sound, but Ward did, and that made me realize, man, I think it's on Ward's end. And he and I started talking, playing with it, and that's what he has now, and it sounds great.
Sometimes when you overload these radios, the front end of the audio, they can distort the transmit part of it and make the audio through your radio sound, pardon me, like very digitally sounding and give the appearance of some sort of weird distortion.
I think that must have been what was happening.
Yeah, I'll say thanks, Keith, and you're right. I was in my treble settings, and I actually went up one from a 2 to a 3, and that's what turned the whole thing upside down from just changing the treble from a 2 to a 3, and it just went horrible.
And Ward, if you're watching the stream, sorry, it made your signal look lower without my preamp on, so I apologize.
Oh, no worries on the signal. I don't care as long as the audio is good. You can have you can't if you don't move the needle, but they can hear you. That still works, right?
I would like to insert an objection.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Greg, I'm hereby requesting that you turn your preamp back on. Looking at my signal at being plus 20 versus plus 40 is not acceptable.
That's funny.
Better raise your antenna, buddy.
My ears object.
You're going to force me to buy an amp.
Yep.
That's too much money, man. I was looking at an amp today. It was 200 watts. That's too much money. And 200 watts at $500, I think, $599, $499, somewhere in that zone. That seems like an awful lot of money.
Andy, what did you do to your radio?
Well, we were talking about how good our signals all sound, so I thought I'd go to narrow to, balance it out a little bit.
You went to narrow to show Ward what he used to sound like.
But I get to listen to myself on YouTube now wide, so let's see how that sounds in comparison.
Little double there.
I'm back to narrow. I wanted to see if it would actually make a difference.
Yeah, turn it back to where you were.
Yeah, I don't care where your signal is.
That's what I'm talking about. As long as you're over the noise, right?
Absolutely.
You're right, Andy. I was looking at some linears too, and they're about $3 a watt right now.
Yeah, I mean it was a nice amp. Don't get me wrong. Mirage, I think, was the one I was looking at. It was 200 watt, but if this radio's putting out 100 watts to gain another 100, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Rob and I've had the same discussion before, and I think it's one of those things, either go big or go home. You can get those BECOs, or BEKOs, they're about $3,000 for 1,000 watts.
Yeah, and then what kind of antenna do you need to use? I'd rather just put a nice antenna up, like Ward's got, and run 100 watts through it and call it good.
Yeah, because these verticals only go, 200, maybe 3 at the most. My M-square loops, they'll take, since they're stacked, they'll go up to 1.5 kW, but why am I going to do that for that? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's true. I didn't think about the beams. You can run quite a bit through those things. But yeah, the vertical, forget about it. They're all right at 200, it seems like.
Yeah, I'll take the gain on the vertical over, spending $600 for 200 watts.
I mainly got I got the amplifier. I have the amplifier. I think Andy was referring to the Mirage B320 Golf. I mainly got it to push through the 100 feet of coax I have, because I know I got a lot of line loss there.
Yeah, that's the one. That number rings a bell.
It seems to do the job for me. I mean, I can run barefoot. I also don't want to kill my radio. The finals of my 9700, although the Mirage is about almost the same price when it comes down to it.
Isn't the Icom like 100% duty cycle rated, though?
I'm not 100% sure.
I think somebody told me one time, I haven't read it myself, I guess, but somebody told me that his Icom was 100% duty cycle, and that was pretty normal for him. He said, I could wrap a rubber band around my microphone and walk away, and I'm like, yeah, but why would you?
Yeah, roger that. They must be pretty stout, because if you do the slow scan on these, at the wattage, that temperature is going to heat up pretty quick.
Well, and on sideband, how many watts are we actually getting? It's not like you're peaking 100 watts all the time with them. We're probably in the 60 watt range, 50 watt range on average.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I don't bother. I just run mine at 100. But only on FM do you ever see the the temperature kind of creep up a little. It'll creep up here a couple bars if you keep it key down 15, 20 seconds, but then it drops right down because it's really then it'll just relax.
So there's a temp gauge on the 9700s then?
Roger.
Where's that at, Greg, on the screen? I can't see it.
Right there to your right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll just do it. See, I'm only running 30 watts into the amplifier right now, so you shouldn't see much change. See, since I've keyed, it's gone up just one bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to see if it's gone up again a little bit there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and to see if we'll go up another one. It doesn't look like, this thing runs pretty cool for the most part.
So, does the fan cycle on and off? Is it pretty quiet on that radio?
I would say for me, it's very quiet.
It doesn't matter though, because his amp is 20 times louder.
That's affirmative.
The amp's got a pretty loud fan on it then?
Get enough of it there?
Yeah, that was definitely loud.
Rob always wondered what the sound was. He noticed it, but he just didn't know what it was till I said something.
Is it true that amplifier will do full output on 5 watts in from an HT?
Yep, it will. There's a setting on the back.
Yeah, that's pretty cool in itself. I mean, could you turn your mobile down to the 5 watt setting and drive it off that? I mean, I know you probably have a chance of burning it up if you hit the wrong button, but you could theoretically, right?
Yep, I noticed that. The only thing is it takes more amps from my power supply, so I noticed the fan gets bogged down a little bit. I still get the voltage, I still get the power output, but I noticed that the amperage is getting drawn a little more, so I decided to even out a little bit between the radio and the amplifier, and the sweet spot seems to be between 34 watts and 48 watts in.
So have you looked at what at max output that thing draws, like the real draw of that amplifier? How many amps that is?
It pulls 29 on FM and about 28 on sideband. The FM, actually, I get well over 200 watts with it, close to 215 watts. And normal peak on sideband, I do about 198.
Did you buy that new, or did you find a used one?
I bought it new.
Would you do it again?
Absolutely. I love this radio. I love this amplifier. I think it's a nice combo between my radio. I have 2 separate power supplies I'm running them on. Everything's independent too as well.
How many amp supply for the amp alone?
30, and I have a duplicate 30 amp power supply for the radio.
Do you run solid state or do you do switching?
Unfortunately, these are switching, but I have them on non-switched right now.
I've got, for power supplies in my shack here, I've got 2 PowerWorks 30 amps. I think they may be 25 with a 30 peak, or they might be 30 with 35 peak. I don't really remember, but they've been great for my shack. They're nice, small, quiet, but I think I said solid state. I meant linear. I want to, I think, buy one, a lot like Keith did, like a 70 watter and run everything off that, put it underneath the desk somewhere.
Speaking of which...
What's that?
Greg, do you think there's any way you can move your amp further away from your radio or your mic so it doesn't pick up the fan noise as much?
Not easily. I want this amplifier as close as I can to the radio. So that would probably be, I would have to do a lot of rewiring to do that.
It's just a thought. I mean, you know, if we're all sitting around trying to make our audio as good as we possibly can, I would say in your situation, as good as your audio is, the one thing you could do to improve it would be do something about that fan noise on the amp.
Could probably turn the gain down on the mic a little bit, right? Wouldn't that accomplish the same thing?
Well, I don't know about accomplishing the same thing. I mean, you might not hear the fan as well, but it's also going to have an impact on his audio.
I've tried a gate through my compressor, but for me, I've noticed the audio sounds cleaner, not as harsh if I run the microphone directly into the radio, so I don't have that ability to run a gate, which will basically, anything below a certain level, it would turn the volume down on the microphone, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and that's why I was recommending, if at all possible, to try to move that amp some way, somehow. I mean, this hobby's all about, you know, making sacrifices, and we can't always put things exactly where we want to.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I like to see the front of it because it also has a fault light on it. So in case something burns up, like antenna burns up, I won't burn up the amplifier. So I like to keep my eye on it. I just wish that's the one thing I don't like about this thing is the fan. And right now I'm running without the fan, barefoot 48 watts. See how clean this is here in the background.
Yeah, it's definitely noticeable.
You're doing a good job in Long Beach for just 48 watts, though. That's pretty impressive.
You know what? Why don't I go full power on my 9700?
Yeah, you're plus 20 in Riverside.
I forgot how to change the output setting. I have a, oh, wait a minute. I remember now.
Yeah, you got it locked. Hey guys, why don't we do check-ins? November 6th, Kilowatt X-Ray, Rob in Riverside, off the 91 freeway at Adams Street, about 3 miles from the Riverside Auto Center.
Alpha Juliet Bravo 6, Andy and Norco, within 100 feet of horse manure in any direction.
That's funny. W6WWD Cypress, about 3 miles west of Knott's Berry Farm.
WA6QXA, Keith here, Long Beach.
Greg, K6EGG, 2 miles north of the Chino Airport in the beautiful city of Chino. Not that far away from cows, but I could still smell them, and I'm barefoot right now. 100 watts.
I wasn't looking at the needle. Can you run that one again, Greg? I want to see what you're doing with 100 watts out of the radio.
100 watts out of the radio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 from the beautiful city of Chino.
Yeah, you're 15 or 20 over. When you were running 48 watts or whatever your other power setting was, you were right at a solid 9.
Yeah, also you were an S5 at 48, and you're about an S7 at with 100 watts, Greg.
What was I at 200 watts? Do you remember, Ward?
I think you were roughly close to an S9. Again, these Icoms are pretty stingy.
That they are. But does the audio sound a little better with the no fan background noise? Maybe I'll just go with this for a little while.
Well, I got to say, on my end, I don't hear the fan, so I can't be a good judge on that.
So for me, you went from an S9 to an S8 on your barefoot at 100 watts.
That's actually not that big of a difference, I guess, but it would make sense.
When you were at 48 watts, I think you said it was, you were at an S7, so you went from an S8 then, but when you were full power, you were like the S9.
And to me, it's a total trade-off with the amp versus without it. I mean, it sounds cleaner without the fan blowing in the background, but, I mean, you're definitely not as punchy.
So maybe when I'm just talking local, I'll keep the amplifier off with 100 watts.
I mean, you definitely sound good, and you're still plus 20 here.
That's that 1,500 foot elevation thing you got going on there.
At least.
Do you get nosebleeds very often, Rob?
That, Keith?
Do you get nosebleeds very often?
You know, my antenna might be 1,500 feet up now, but it's going to be 1,505.
Wow.
Stop it. But at least we know why you bought a Jeep. You live on a hill, you had to get there, so I got you.
And what do you have to use to get through that cow manure?
Yes, sir. Well, that and to visit friends up on the hill.
Well, I remember back in the day, Chino used to be known for having a really bad smell from the dairy farms.
Oh, yeah, I grew up in Laverne, and when the winds would pick up, you'd smell Chino from Laverne. And that was, I don't know, that's what is that, 15, 20 minutes away? 15, 20 miles away, I should say?
Well, that's good fertilizer.
Top quality fertilizer.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm going to jump out, so I'll hopefully catch you guys tomorrow or the next day. 73, and good speaking to everybody. W6WWD QRT.
Have a good night, Ward. Good talking with you. AJ6B.
Have a good night, Ward. K6EGG. I heard another station in there also.
7-3, Ward. Great hearing you tonight. You were sounding really, really good tonight. Have a good evening. Catch you soon. November 6th, kilowatt X-ray.
Night, Ward. Yep, you got that sound dialed in. WA6QXA, Keith.
All right, Roger, guys. Thanks a lot, guys. 7-3.
KB6B AM.
Anyone catch that call?
Is that Dave by any chance, David? San Gabriel? I mean, San Gabriel. What am I trying to say? Is that David, number 12?
Yeah, I'm kind of pointed towards Chino, so I hope you can still hear me.
I hear you just fine, +9. I'm pretty close to you, though.
I hear you over in Chino. You're almost 2 S units, and you're very loud.
Well, good evening, guys. Yeah, I just got out here. Been a busy day today. Anyhow, the name's David, KB6VAN, located Garden Grove.
Garden Grove, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, you guys can probably throw rocks to each other.
Bottle rockets.
You sound different than normal there. Did you change something?
Did I change something?
Yeah, on your radio. Usually you sound louder in my area.
I just don't have the 800 watt amplifier on.
It would probably make a huge difference. I was wondering what kind of amplifier you're running. When you do run it.
Yeah, it's an old Temple, 6 and 2. It's a 6 meter and 2 meter amplifier.
28874 is grounded grid.
That thing sounds mighty nice my way. You're usually like an S9 at my house, booming in. So I was like, who is this? It's nice to talk to you again, Dave.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, it's supposed to be 1,000 watts on 6 meters and 2 meters. And, it's an old tube amplifier. It runs pretty good. Who's at my front door? Anyway. Yeah, that's probably why I'm not that loud. I'm just running 100 watts now.
I welcome you to the 100-watt crowd here. I'm barefoot as well this evening.
Keith's running power tonight, isn't he?
I don't know, but I'm going to switch over to my 818 because I just finished this wire. It only took me like 5 hours. No, I'm teasing, but probably an hour. And I want to see if it's working, so give me a minute and I'll check it out with you guys if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Yeah, give her a try. I'd love to see how you sound. And I got no fan noise in the background.
You might have trouble hearing me, Greg, because I'm not going to be having that much power.
Let's see how you do.
Let's hear how he sounds on the station with the antenna 1,500 feet in the air.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be good line of sight. So how many of you guys own 9700s?
I think almost everybody but me and Keith on here now.
Ford has one.
Yeah, I think, Andy, you're right. Even the Curtis out in the high desert has one as well.
I think it's Club 9700, right? Or is it the Hobo Club? Or is it the Hobo 9700s?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
I made a left when I should have made a right.
He'll be out of here in a couple days when he gets his radio.
Just buying time.
And the radio he bought's not even an Icom.
Yeah, but this one is.
That's true. Well, mine should be delivered tomorrow.
Did you order a 9700?
Yeah, I did. From DX Engineering. They're the only ones that had any.
I saw one of the user groups that were having a chip problem making them.
Well, I called HRO over here, and they said they're not going to get any until the end of this month. And then I called Gigaparts. They didn't have any. And then I called DX Engineering, and they said, yeah, hey, we got 7 of them. And they're in Nevada, so we can have it to you in a couple days.
Beautiful. What type of radio on right now?
Well, I'm on a 9100 right now. There you go, Andy.
Hey, it's Club 9100. That's right. There's 2 of us now.
You guys sound so much different with having the same radio. It's weird.
Well, that also depends on the microphone you're using. I use a Heil headset. That's what I use here.
I just got the stock mic.
Interesting. Yeah. Totally different sounds in those.
Yeah, so my 910H Icom will be up for sale here shortly.
This is WA6QXA after for a radio check on my 818, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can anybody hear me?
I got you, Keith, but what are you on now?
I'm on my 818 with just a little bit of power, maybe 50 watts.
Yeah, you're not even registering on the needle here, but I can just barely hear you.
Can you hear me?
I got you barely. I had to turn my preamp on to kind of hear you, but I could still hear you. Not moving the needle much here.
All right. Well, I just need to make sure I wired the thing up right with this wire I just created. So thanks, guys. WA6QXA will be off and back on for the other radio in a second.
You're an S4 into Riverside, Keith. I can hear you fine. I mean, there's static behind you, but I don't have any problem copying you. It's got to be the 1,500 feet.
Whatever.
15,000 feet.
All right, guys, I think it's time for me to get on out of here and might play a game or two of pinball before I hit the sack. Good talking to everybody. I've really enjoyed the conditions tonight. Let's hope that keeps up and it keeps getting better. Everybody have a good evening, 7-3, and we'll catch you later, November 6th, Kilowatt X-Ray. Rob in Riverside.
Have a good night, Rob. AJ6BE.
Have a good night there, Rob. Hope to talk to you soon. K6EGG.
Yeah, good night, Rob. KD6BAN.
And with that, it's past my bedtime as well, guys, so I'm going to jump out. That was a great night talking on the radio. Enjoyed it. Hope you guys all have a good night, and we'll catch you probably sometime tomorrow. AJ6BE, Norco. I'm shutting her down.
Have a good night there, Andy. K6EGG. And Dave, did I come up at all on signal for you?
Do it again. I'll look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 from the beautiful city of Chino, running 200 watts now.
No, you're better than S8.5.
Not bad at all.
Can I try this one more time? Because I think I didn't have any power on before. This is WA6QXA. Anybody hear me?
No.
No, I don't hear you in Chino.
That's not way better or anything here in Norco. I heard you before I was shutting it down. Keith, good night. I'm taking off, but you're about an S5-6 now. Much, much better than before.
You guys were hearing me with about 2.5 watts before. I didn't realize. Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks, WA6QX. We're clear.
Yep, S4 in Chino. Hey, Dave, do you know if Pat PMD got his rotor fixed for his antenna?
Yeah, he did. He had it up for last Sunday. Got a new Yaesu G800 DXA and got it put up.
Nice, excellent. I heard him briefly. I checked in real quick on Wednesday, but I didn't really listen too much. I was taking care of some other stuff in the house, but yeah, I usually get to tell when he swings around a little bit. He slides frequency for me a little bit.
All right. Well, this should make a little bit of difference to you too as well. KB6VAN.
Yeah, you're about an S7, S8. And it also sounds like your audio is the power is leaking in your audio a little bit.
You might hear the fan in the background. Anyway, let's see. I normally don't run it this low, but yeah, that's it just barely warmed up back here.
How many watts is that right there?
720 watts, it says.
Wow. And are you on a beam right now?
Yeah, I got a stacked set of 5-element super loops.
A normal vertical couldn't handle that much wattage, I'm assuming.
Well, most all verticals will handle that much. You just got to make sure that when you buy it, they normally will handle 1,500.
Wow, I think mine only handles about 200, and peaking about 198 out of the radio, but I'm sure getting some cable loss. But I talked to a buddy of mine that lost an antenna. He over-driven it.
Yeah, I think I peaked on you a little bit more there. Yeah, I run LMR 400 with this setup. When I put up my 1.2, I ran LMR 600.
Does the 600 make 600 make a big difference?
Yeah, it's less loss. 1.2 gigs. You know, unless you have an amplifier, the radio is only 10 watts, so you need all the help you can get.
Yep, totally understand that. I wonder if Keith's coming back here. Are you out there, Keith? I'm about ready to take off.
Yeah, I'm out here. I'm just trying to break down what I hooked up, and so I'm just kind of listening, trying to get the thing, broken down.
I'm sure Dave probably blew your ears out when he turned his amplifier on.
Yeah, I had no problems hearing, that's for sure.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night for me. I've been up for about, 3 hours or so, something like that. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. So Keith and Dave, WA6QXA, and Dave, KB6VAN. You guys have a good night. This is Greg, K6EGG, from the city of Chino, 2 miles north of the Chino airport. I'm going to sign off. You guys have a good night. Hope to talk to you soon.
All right, Greg. Take care. Dave, same with you. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, too. This will be WA6QXA saying 73 to y'all.
All right, guys. Yeah, have a good evening. And so I'll wait till I get that radio tomorrow and have fun opening that box. And I got to clean my work desk off and get the Yaesu FT 1000 Delta mounted on the desk in the garage. Anyhow, 73, guys. KB6VAN.
So that was some local traffic here on 2-meter sideband on 144-250 from the beautiful area of Southern California. I got some stuff flying around here. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go on for a couple days, maybe Monday at the earliest. After that, probably be another week or so. So hoping they get back on the radio at some point. I got a remote rig coming in, so maybe I could at least talk to everybody when I'm free at work in the coming weeks. And everybody take care, and I hope you enjoyed the stream for tonight. This is Greg, K6EGG, from the beautiful city of Chino, signing off.